Saturday, Christmas comes early.
Unbelievable! Welcome to this incredible scene.
Bills.
To the end zone!
Chargers.
It's a touchdown!
An exclusive NFL game.
That's fantastic!
Live in primetime.
Wow!
Only on Peacock.
With a Christmas gift to their fans.
They're having some fun now.
Bills versus Chargers. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. Exclusively on Peacock.
Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple. Products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
This is Thad Bell with the Kansas City Soccer Journal. With me, I have Peter Vermes, manager, sporting director, technical director. What's the right term now?
Coach. How's that?
You obviously are really long tenured in this league, one of the longest in this league, one of the longest in the world. What has been key to being able to keep up to, keep changing, keep relevant, keep, being a good coach?
I think, first of all, I think you have to be willing. I look at this as a profession. And so I think when you're looking at what you do for a living as a profession, as a job, normally in your profession, you're always trying to get better at what you do. So I'm constantly trying to learn, get better, because I don't know everything about the game for sure. I'm very fortunate because I have a great staff that I work with every day, and they're very similar in that fashion. And so what happens is they'll come up with things themselves, and so it challenges all of us. And the other is that I've always believed in the project here. And so when you believe in the project, when you're at a place, it kind of makes it easy to come to work every day.
And I know you've had opportunities to go elsewhere, but you've stayed regardless of those opportunities because you believe in that project, right?
Correct. That's what it's been for me. Like I've never been a guy that has believed that the grass is always greener on the other side. I'd rather work on my grass a little bit more and make it greener, and then I don't have to leave. So again, but you got to make sure that you're in line with the people that you're working with, and our ownership group has great vision. They have an incredible enthusiasm, and they're not here and there, but everyday participation in this club is probably very, very rare in sports.
This year has been probably one of the toughest for you, just with the way it started, trying to get back and being, in the playoff picture. From how do you rate this season for, the toughness of this job for you?
Yeah, probably the most difficult, but probably the most rewarding at this moment, because I always believed that the team was good. I thought the roster was good. It was just about getting the players out on the field. And now that has happened, I'm happy for the players because they've gotten rewarded for their commitment and their efforts that they maintained even when things were looking very bleak. But as I told them many a times, there's no one that's going to get us out of this except ourselves. And they stayed very focused on trying to do that. And that part I really appreciate. And again, like I said, I'm happy that they've gotten rewarded for that.
It was tough with the start, but just as it took time to get built back into getting that rhythm and getting the confidence. Some fans had lost confidence. I mean, it was pretty tough for pretty much everybody from fan to players. How did it affect you?
Well, when I can't remember the team, but we're in the game at home, and now I couldn't hear the fans saying when they were saying the Vermes out. Someone showed it to me later on, and I will say that I was disappointed. I was disappointed because, look, if it was time for me to go, okay, if that's what someone believed, right? I just think that when I think about how much time and effort that I've put into this place, and to think that a group of people are going to now start chanting something like that, they just really, in my opinion, have no idea where this club was and where it is today. Did I do all that? Absolutely not. Was I part of that? For sure. And I just felt that was disrespectful. I didn't like it. But the good thing is that I love it. I love hearing this. People say this all the time. They say that I have this long leash here. I don't think I have a long leash anywhere. I think what it is that I've proven time and time again that I do my job, and I do it pretty well. I think what the difference is, I think ownership is, there's a reason why they are where they're at, is because they've been incredibly intelligent in everything that they've done, and they think about the long term, they don't think about the short term. And I think they realized that it was a blip on the screen. Was it fun? No, it wasn't fun for anybody, but I believe that they believed in me. And here we sit. There's no doubt that there's a part of me that feels absolutely vindicated in a lot of ways, because it was all about the belief in the team, and that's what I had. And you've heard me. I think you've heard me say this before, and that is what also disappointed me is that I think you have to be very careful, right, where you cast stones. I remember when I was just a GM here, and I was I went to every practice, I went to every game, and when I say I went to every practice, I was right on the sideline. I wasn't in the practice, but right on the sideline watching everything.
Sometimes you were in the practice.
Well, I played, but I never coached or anything. Right. And so I would say that I thought I had this great idea of how the team was. When I had to come in for those last 10 games in 2009, I was blown away after my first training session to see what the team was like and to realize how much I didn't know. And so when people think that they know, you have to be a little careful. I always take a step back and think, well, I'm not there. I don't know what they're doing. So I have to reserve myself from some commenting on it, because it's not something that I have really good knowledge about. But at the same time, I also understand, you got to move on. And that's what we did as a team and as a staff. We're like, you know what? No problem. We're going to stay on our mission, and we're going to work towards that. And again, credit to all involved that they did. And
you're a fan of other sports, other teams. I mean, you probably have done that a little bit yourself, like, I think, that guy should be playing or that guy should be playing. But you're also smart enough now to know that you don't know.
I don't mind that. Just so you know, I'm also well aware, academy coaches will come to our game. Second team coaches will come to our game. Or they'll watch it on TV, or they'll be in the stadium. And I'm not naive to think that they're not going, I can't believe he started so-and-so. Why didn't he play this guy? Why did he do this? I'm fully aware that goes on. I think the difference is that when people start to now think that it's okay for them to say that you should be fired. I can tell you this: if you went to all those people that were saying that, and you went to their job and told their boss that they should be fired, I'd be interested to see how they would react.
Probably not as well as you did. With those voices, and with, I'm sure the owners were questioning you a bit, and I know you had some conversations with them and gave them answers. Were you ever questioning yourself at that point?
No, No, because I have the other experience of 2011 when we opened up the stadium. There's just one big difference between those two time periods. Because if you remember, in the first 10 games, we had 1 win, 6 losses, and 3 ties. Not far off from no wins, right? I mean, it's 1 win. Where the difference was at that time, we had this artificial incentive. The stadium was coming,
Right.
and so that could help you get out of what you're in. We didn't have that this time around. What we did have is we had good players that I knew were coming back, and that's what I believed in. And I just knew that we needed to get to a place that when they were going to be healthy, and we started to play the way that we can play with all those guys in the field, that then I thought the results would start to come.
And as those results came and the team kind of built that momentum, how much confidence did it give you to if you made the playoffs? Because that was still in doubt until the last day. How much confidence did it give you that you could start to make a bit of a run? We're sitting here before you go play Houston in a few days. I think it's a great accomplishment just to have gotten this far with how the team started. But how much confidence do you have that you can make that run?
So when we won in Seattle and we came home, I remember having a conversation with the guys, and I had been looking at the schedule all the way out through the season. And I already knew sort of the timelines on some players and where they were physically and coming back from injury. And so it was put together, and then I said to them, our objective is we got to get to the Leagues Cup, and we got to be in striking distance of a playoff spot. If we can be in the playoffs at that point, great. Like get a spot in the playoffs, great. But if we're not, we just need to be in striking distance. And that we're going to use Leagues Cup to get a few guys. We're going to use those games, high-quality games, if you will, for them to start playing, get in form, fit, all that. And so, excuse me. And so what we worked towards was getting to that point. And then the idea is that when we come out of the Leagues Cup, we have to be ready to make a big push. And so we actually did that. What I would say is that stretch there, it was, even from the Seattle game, it was we were playing like we'd have a tie on the road and be like, man, we lost 2 points. Whereas in the past you would be like, oh, we got a tie on the road. It's great, you got a point. Well, those 1 points weren't helping us as much, right? We needed the 3, and so we started to realize like, hey, we got to start scraping these out. And the guys, again, to be fair, they were under a lot of pressure and a lot of intense environments where the other team was not a lot of times because they weren't in that same position. So here we are having to go and get those points, and it was difficult, but I also think it's also put us into this position we are now where we've been able to mentally and physically be able to deal with the intensity of playoffs and all the other things that go with it because we've had those games already.
I know I only have another minute or two before you need to go to another interview, but what would you want fans to know about this team, what they went through, what they're going forward?
Oh, I would say that they believe in themselves. I would say that I know that there was probably times where they doubted themselves, but I didn't. And I made it very clear to them that I didn't. I think that it's taken a lot of their commitment to get to the place that we're at. They're a tough group mentally and physically. And for them to have, righted the ship based on what had transpired early on, it's a big credit to the group. Again, big credit to those guys because when you get rewarded for the work that you put in, the way that you go about your business like that, and you try to find the good in some really dark times, it says a lot about the character of the group. And the final piece is that they want to win for the fans more than they know. They enjoy being in that stadium. They enjoy being in front of our fans. They enjoy going into those games and winning and running roughshod over a team. They enjoy that. But the difference now is we have a big challenge, and that is we're playing away in our next 3 games if we get that far. But we're away from home now. There's no more. So we're going to have to be even tougher in these situations because, as we talked about before, we're the only lower seeded team to, qualify through the playoffs in this first round. So we got a big challenge in front of us.
Is there more room up here on the wall for another championship jersey?
Be great. I can always make more room.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.